Hi trader, Tina here once again from ShortMeTina.com with my daily recap. So the recap is coming not quite midday, about an hour and a half prior to market close. It's around 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. The market closes at 4. I have some engagements later on in the evening, and so it'd be extremely difficult for me to actually do the recap at market close or later on in the day like I typically do. So I said, well, you know what? Better to do some sort of a recap than none at all. So the price levels may vary from the time that you're actually listening to this video comparative to the actual end of day quote, if that makes sense. Again, because I'm doing it about an hour and a half prior to market closed. So let's just kick it off really quickly. If this is your first time tuning in, we want to say here, welcome in the community. Do us a favor, drop us a comment in the comment section. Let us know how you found us. Say hi. Just make a note of yourself. Make yourself visible if this is your very first time tuning in. If you're returning, I want to say welcome back. Truly, it means a lot because I know you can be doing a lot of other things right now in this moment. I mean, really, you can be doing so many other things, but you're taking the time out to actually listen to my views on the market, and that actually means a lot. And because of that, make yourself known as well. Comment in the comment section. Let me know you've been listening to me day in and day out for the past few months, year, whatever. I've been doing this ShortMeTina for about a little over 2 years now. And so far, definitely taken aback by the amount of support we've gotten so far. So to kick it off, let's start off with our mission statement, right? What is it that we do here? Our mission, our goal really is to build a powerhouse of successful traders, right? Successful traders. I kind of messed that up a little bit. Yeah, that's our goal, obviously, and to help you find more winners. We conclude, if you win, we win. Generally speaking, that is what our mission here is. I want to build a powerhouse of successful traders. Obviously, I'm going to need a little bit of input from you. There's going to be some work that's needed on your end, but overall, if you're willing to put in the work, I'm willing to extend that helping hand. I've been trading for over 15 years. I've learned a ton, and I have absolutely no issues in passing the information along. I think it is good to help, and I think it's good to give back to others. Now, for that to happen, obviously, I need you to tell me where you're having your biggest frustrations, right? What is your biggest frustration in reaching your trading goals or in trading in general? And lastly, about a week or so ago, I created, or rather I did a video. It's about, I don't know exactly how long it is. Let's say 10 minutes, about a 10-minute video on what I think are the 3 pillars or the 3 principles to successful trading. I'm going to link it. Make sure you check that video out. I think it really sort of sets the foundation for trading. I don't want to be technical. I don't want to really talk about theories, but it's really super important, especially if you're trying to get to that next level in trading. What's the worst that can happen? Give the video a listen. I think it has a lot of nuggets of information and wisdom in there. Granted, I am partial because I created it, but nonetheless, I think there's some useful stuff in there. All right, so let's get underway and recap the overall markets. All right, so we have the SPY S&P 500 daily chart. Let's focus in on price action that began in 2017. Right now we have a market quote of 288.71, so we're slightly down on the day. I just checked the quote, let's say 30 seconds before initiating this video, and we were up slightly. We were trading at around 289. So exactly whether or not we end up or down on the day, no one knows at this point. It's 240. I suspect more or less wherever we end, it's going to be quite marginal. So if we end down on the day, it's not going to be by much percentage points, probably somewhere around here. If we end up on the day, it might be in the low 289s. Does not matter. Again, I don't really concern myself, although I do daily recaps, I don't concern myself too much with the daily fluctuations or the minute by minute fluctuations of the market. There's no way I could be plugged in so much. I would drive myself insanely crazy. Again, I've been doing this for so long, and for me, my best trading is when I'm not glued to the market. Granted, I always look at the markets every single day to see how it ends, but I'm not by any means really watching things tick by tick. So there's already levels in my head that I'm paying attention to. You should know those levels already. The first one is 280 to 282 for a very long time, dating back to 2017. That level acted as resistance. You can see it here. We got to around that level, pulled back, resistance, it pulled back again. 280 to 282 level, we pulled back. 1, 2, 3 times we pulled back. Tried it here, we pulled it back. And most recently, right, we finally broke through that 280 to 282 level, pierced it. It was, again, acting as resistance, but now that we're above it, that 280 to 282 level is now support, right? Hope that makes sense. So what I'm paying attention to is 280 to 282. As long as the market can stay above that level, I think things are good. It's going to act, in my opinion, now as support. So going forward, it should hold. Granted, I understand that we broke that level in the beginning of June, ending of May, but we rebounded relatively quickly. So that tells me the market wants to trade above that 280 to 282 level. So again, let's hope the market keeps it as support. If it can do that, you have to lean towards the bullish side. I just added another particular line here, that purple line. We can call this one new resistance. As long as the market can stay above 280 to 282, again, we're going to call that support. It was once resistance back here. Now we're going to call that support. Our new level of resistance comes at around, again, this purple line here. We can see when the markets got there, we pulled back. Most recently, it got there, we pulled back. So we're going to give that a range. We can call that new level that I'm introducing now, 293 to 295. As long as we can, pardon, that's incorrect. So yes, 293 to 295, that is now the levels to penetrate. Obviously, if we penetrate that, we will be in new territory again. I think the trade is on the long side. I remain a bull. What else? IWM, really quickly, I have some grounds to cover. Really quickly, right now, I see a quote of 151.0. Actually, it says 07 here. No, 151.09. Pardon. Where was I? All right, so yeah, the IWM daily chart right now, there's a quote of 150.92. So this is off slightly on the day, but nonetheless, it is above that shorter term support of 148 to 150. So how long has this support level held? It's held dating back to February. So let's count February, March, April, May, June. So about 4 months. For 4 months overall, the IWM has traded above 148 to 150, with the exception of about 2 weeks ago where we actually broke that. But again, we didn't spend too much time underneath 148 to 150. We quickly rebounded, and sitting here right now, a change at 150.95. We're above 148 to 150. So I'm paying attention to that level. Anything above, I am bullish. Anything below, the story gets a bit bleak. I become more cautious, right? So for right now, the story looks good because we're above 148 to 150. The next level that I'm paying attention to, as I've mentioned numerous times, is that 160 level, right? You can see here, with the exception of what occurred in, I believe it was May 3rd and May 4th, we actually went above 160 and we actually closed above for 2 consecutive trading days. That's great. Outside of that, outside of those 2 days, I'm not quite sure I want to call it an anomaly, but outside of those 2 trading days, we more or less have not traded above 160 dating back to October. Let's do the math. October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. 8 months. I was going to say 6. 8 months. So for 8 months, with the exception of 2 consecutive trading days, we've been below 160 with the IWM. So what does that mean? So for me, if we ever get above 160, that would make me even more bullishly inclined. Right now, I am still a bull with anything above 148 to 150. So those are the levels I'm paying attention to. All right, got it? Good. If this makes sense, comment. If you have questions, comment in the comment section. What else? And a follow-up on ticker BYND, Beyond Meat, hourly chart. So dating back to Friday, I said anything above one. So I did a video on Friday. Today's Tuesday. So I did a video on Friday, Monday, and I'm doing one now. Let's go back. On Friday, I indicated anything above 150, this can potentially run to 200. We got above 150 right out the gate. We pulled back a little bit at the beginning of trading on Monday, But we didn't go that low, just went as low as 147, above 150, and we actually ended up running. Look, you can see it in the volume here, and this huge green candle. Went as high as 186, falling slightly short from that 200 price target that I indicated. We pulled back, and yesterday I did a video and I said, well, expect this stock to sell off. It's going to have a real scare. Is this a scare? For many it is, yeah, right? So we're off about 22%. Right now, the quote we see here is 130.76, and the low of the day is 130, what was that? 130.33. So we're very close to the low of the day. So expect more of a pullback, in my opinion, heading into closing and perhaps even tomorrow. But what did I say? I said you're going to have that scare, you're going to have that pullback, then you're going to have another run. I think that BYND still has another run in it. I'm still going to keep that 200 price target. So I'm actually personally waiting for it to get to a decent price point before I initiate a position. All right, what else? And then we have ZTS. Again, I've been bullish on this particular stock for a very long time. I've done extensive coverage on it. It's been on my weekly watch list. I want to say probably the beginning part of this year. Sometimes you just have to give your trades time to unfold, right? So when we got into this trade, it was trading in the low 90s, and I've maintained that the stock can see 100, and my initial price target was around $110. That actually materialized this week with the stock going as high as 111.66 to pull back at 109.75. Am I still bullish on ZTS? Absolutely. I also now see, based on price action, a target. I don't want to say target. I see this trading at $120 within the shorter term, definitely in 2019, and clearly this is a stock that can put up 50%. Now, you have to be patient. You have to be able to get a good entry. Once again, I'm saying it, put ticker ZTS on your radar, on your watch list. What else? All right, and let's update everyone on ticker ZNGA, Zynga daily chart. Right now, we're sitting here at 625. Expect your pullbacks. Now, listen, the stock from November trading at a low of, let's say, 330. It's up north of 100% in under a year. That's a huge move. I think that's a really huge move. And we actually, luckily, was able to get into this trade in the premium member community when the stock was trading in the low threes. All right, so great. Do I still like this stock? Absolutely. Do I still like the chart? Yes. Was I waiting on a pullback? Of course I was, because I want to add to my already existing position. That's how your winners turn into even bigger winners, by actually pyramiding and adding to those, right? You don't want to concern yourself with your losers. If you get into a trade, it's not doing what it needs to do, get rid of it. Say goodbye. Bye. Talk to you later. The trades that are actually working, you want to give them time to unfold. Imagine actually sitting in this trade, right? Getting into it in the low threes, seeing it's here at $6, and being able to add to that position along the way. Now, my price target for this stock is around $8. I can see that happening in 2019. So imagine remaining in a trade from 3 to 8. Right, versus concerning yourself with trades that are not doing well. At any rate, I'm still bullish on ticker ZNGA. I'm hoping that it pulls back a little bit more so I can actually add to my already existing position. Again, if you look at the longer term chart dating back to about 6 or 7 years, you'll see that there's very little overhead, and the next resistance level, in my opinion, is around $8. What else? All right, and to update folks on ticker JD again, it's up about 2.4% on the day. Right now, I see a close at 27.93. When we got into this trade, we bought at support at around $19 to $20. Saw the stock shoot up to around 31 to then see it pull back most recently because of a lot of tariff talks to around 24, 25. Now, sitting here at 27.93, what did I say earlier in the week or last week? I said, look, I need this stock to, in a very short period of time, get back above 28. We retested 28 today, right? Going as high as 28.46, I believe, to then pull back. So I'm not really liking it here at 27.93. Am I going to throw it away? Absolutely not. I'm still long ticker JD. I just needed to get back above 28 for things to look solid, in my opinion. If we can remain above that 28 line, I think 35 is the next stop. So patience right now, but also caution. What else? All right, and then we have CRON, ticker CRON. Daily chart is off about 2% on the day. Right now, I see a quote of around $17. So again, when we initially got into this trade, it was in the low to mid fives right here around August of 2018. So not even a year. It took less than a year for this stock to go from around 5 to a high of 25. Huge move in under a year. So the fact that it's pulled back, I wouldn't even say it's not even 50%, right? What is it, like 40%? So the fact that it's pulled back from a high of 25, most recently going as low as around 14.90. We had a little bit of a pop here again to now we're trading in the 17s. Like, that should not be of a surprise. If a stock goes from 5 to 10, 5 to 15, especially 5 to 25 in under a year, that's a huge move. You're going to have to digest that move. You're going to have your sell-offs, right? So am I bullish on CRON? Overall, yes, I'm still longer term bullish on CRON. Once again, I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting to get into this trade. I'm not buying at 17. I wanted to pull back some more. I suspect that it might, but time will tell. I'm still bullish, just not here. I see this stock again hitting 30. So the more it pulls back, the better that trade becomes, in my opinion, from a risk reward perspective. So keep your eyes on CRON. What else? All right, and so let's head over to the cryptocurrency world. So this is Litecoin. It's up about 3% on the day. It's had a huge move since bottoming out back in December of 2018, going from a low of around the low 20s to the high right here of around 135. Huge move. I am long. I do own Litecoin. So as long as it can stay above this blue line here, you can see it broke out. As long as it can stay above that blue line, we can call that resistance / support, that pivot spot of around $98 to $100. As long as it can stay above there, I am bullish on Litecoin. I see this at some point this year hitting 200. In fact, I do believe we're going to retest those all-time highs of around 360, 37, maybe even 400, depending on what exchange you're paying attention to. So I can see this going to 400, and with a really strong bull market in the cryptocurrency space, you can potentially even see this at 1,000. Not pumping, but that is going to unfold in time. Right now, shorter term, as long as it can stay above 100, I am good. What else? All right, so we're going to wrap it up and round it out with Bitcoin. It's off about 1.5%. It's a little shy of 8,000. So it looks okay. Again, longer term, not trying to trade it. I'm not trying to trade in and out of these things. Holding for the long term, talking 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the line. So based on the chart, in the shorter term, really paying attention to this here, it looks relatively bearish. So if we cannot hold this line here, we can call that 7,300, 7,400. If it can't hold this line, more than likely it's going to take a trip back down to this support level here of 6,000 that held overall for the most part outside of what occurred from November of 2018 to most recently May of 2019. So for about a year and a half, if that math is correct, right? Let's see, November to May, actually not quite. So for under a year, we traded under 6,000. Outside of that, overall, we've been above 6,000. So again, in the shorter term, if we cannot hold 7,500, 73 to 7,500, I think it's going to take a trip back to 6,000. In my opinion, that might be the opportune time or the ideal time to add to your position. So longer term, I am very bullish on certain cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Litecoin, in particular, for example. All right, so that's kind of like my quick take on what's going on right now with Bitcoin. So that's it. Tina here, once again from ShortMeTina.com. If you enjoyed any portion of anything that I've said, I'd like for you to do 3 things for me. 1, comment in the comment section. What are your thoughts on the SPY, IWM, Beyond Meat, ZTS, Zynga, JD, CRON, Litecoin, Bitcoin, right? What was that? Bitcoin. Comment in the comment section. Secondly, I do videos Monday through Friday. When the market is open, you can expect a video. So if you want more of this, head on over to our YouTube channel at ShortMeTina and hit that subscribe button. turn on notifications. If notifications are turned on and you're subscribed, when I do a video like right now, where it's kind of not quite the middle of the day, not after market close, not before the open, it's just smack dead somewhere between that 9:30 to 4 p.m. Trading hour. So no matter when I do a video, if you are subscribed and notifications are turned on, you'll automatically be notified. And lastly, I've been trading for well over 15 years. So if you think you can learn anything from me, then head on over to ShortMeTina.com, sign up, become a member. Thank you for listening, and as always, thank you for the support. Enjoy your day. I will talk to you tomorrow.